Know it all, or at least know enough. Calgary Today with Joe McFarland on 770 CHQR.
And the crowd rejoices. Wine Wednesday back live and in studio here. Also live on Facebook Live if you want to check that out either now or later on. Hi there, Facebook Live. Eric Southward from Co-op Wine, Spirits and Beer joining us. Hello there, good sir.
Hey, Joe.
You've changed in like a month. The last time I saw you, got your hair is all grown out now. Like what's going on?
I know. I
here?
look like a hobo. It's just life getting in the way. I can't find time for a haircut. And I must say congratulations on what's coming up for you.
I keep saying congratulations to me and condolences to Erin because she's got to live with me for the rest of her life or until she decides to smother me with a pillow. I have a feeling it's going to happen sooner rather than later, especially after I said that on the radio. You brought in a rosé.
It is for two reasons. One, I think the weather's starting to climb a little bit. You know, warm weather's coming and rosés are really popular and they're refreshing and they kind of scream spring. It's also World Malbec Day.
Oh, okay.
So this is a Malbec from Argentina, the Circus rosé, currently on our ad at Co-op for $10.99, so $11. Really approachable price. It's on sale today, essentially, is the last day of the sale. It's just refreshing, it's crisp, and just a really good buy.
I don't know if we've ever talked Argentinian wines. And so give me the lowdown on that. What's so special about them?
Just they're very similar to Alberta in a few ways in terms of the wines they make and the cuisine they eat. They eat a lot of beef in Argentina, so there's a bit of synergy with our market in terms of they make a lot of rich red wines that seem to go with our cuisine. Right. So they're very popular for that reason. They're also just really good value. So I often refer people to Argentine wines if they're fans of wines from places like California or Australia because they can get a little more bang for their buck. Right. There's a lot of reasons why wines cost the way they do. Exchange rates are one of those, and their currency is actually one of the few where our Canadian dollar has done well against. Oh, okay. So we've gotten smoked by the euro and the American dollar and basically every other wine currency, every other country that makes wine except Argentina. So the wines are getting here at good price. They match up with Alberta beef, which is lovely, and Co-op we sell a ton of. And they're just velvety and delicious and seem to fit.
It's surprising you bring up that point about the economies and whether it's tariffs or whatever it is. That's a big deal for a business that is dependent on something that is from out of province or out of country in a lot of cases.
Absolutely. Sadly, I talk to a lot of wine importers who would love to bring in a wine from Europe or from the US, and it looks like a good deal when you're looking at the prices in those countries, and then you add on the shipping and the taxes and the conversion, and then it just doesn't make sense. Like a wine for $15, yeah, that'll make sense, but that same wine for 25, 26, 27, all of a sudden it's not a great deal, right? So where the wine lands on the shelf is really important. So if you can get a wine like this for $11, 5 glasses in a bottle of wine, so that's about $2.20-ish, per glass. That's pretty good, right? So so value is huge, and especially in today's economy, bang for your buck is why Argentina continues to do well.
You mentioned off the top about rosés and the changing of the seasons. When do you typically see? Is it always with the seasons? The times will or the flavors or the colors will change in terms of the wines?
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of coincides with grilling season. As people are grilling, they want a cold beverage in their hand. I don't know if you grill a lot in the summertime, but
I will be because I'm getting a barbecue.
Absolutely. So I'm usually the one manning the grill at home, and usually if I can be cooking with a cold beer or a cold glass of wine, like that's definitely ideal. And whenever, like, you have a wedding coming up, to give you an idea, when we encourage people or recommend what people buy in terms of wine for a wedding in the wintertime, it's about 2/3 red to 1/3 white, from a quantity perspective. And it goes about 50-50 in the summer. People will always drink red, but definitely in the summertime, we see a spike in people wanting something cold and refreshing. White fits the bill. But if you're not a white wine fan, that's where rosé comes in. That can be appealing.
So does that make, especially spring and fall, more of the transition 50-50 split because everybody's because it's just the taste differences, and some people will be like, yep, it's time to get into the heavy stuff, and then others will say, hey, I'm going to hold on to the light stuff for as long as possible.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I mean, we all live in the city, and sometimes the weather change from day to day can be massive, right? So you kind of need a bottle of white or rosé or red ready at all times because one day it can be 20 degrees positive and the
Not
next day,
here in Calgary, no.
and then the next day minus 20, right? So those transition seasons, we tend to see everything. I was outside doing some yard work the other day and I got sun, I got rain, and I got snow all within 2 hours. And rosé is kind of a nice wine because it can kind of fit any mood or occasion or weather.
Malbec, describe it.
Malbec, if it's in its red form, which it traditionally is, very rich and velvety. I find we often in our market will drink wine on its own a lot. We'll, at the end of the day, have a glass of wine, watch a show, watch Game of Thrones, whatever. So you need something smooth.
Right.
We often drink wine with food because the food kind of smooths the wine out, kind of takes the hard edges off a wine. Malbec, you don't need that. You can just pop the cork and it's really velvety. And then the flavors are really appealing. It tastes like blackberries or blueberries, maybe some chocolate. There's a bit of floral note sometimes when you smell it, but it doesn't taste floral at all. So it doesn't taste like anything weird. It's like, fruit. It doesn't taste like mushrooms or someone's, dirty socks or stinky cheese or things like that. Wine can sometimes have very unique flavors. It's very crowd pleasing, you get a high hit ratio. If you're serving a dinner party, most people will like it. So it just has a nice appeal to it.
I've always wondered whenever you bring up, and both you and Mike do that, is like it might taste like a dirty sock or something. Number one, have you ever had a wine that tastes like a dirty sock? One?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got, a funk that you would describe as sweaty for sure.
How tough is it to sell a bottle of that? Because you don't want to be saying, hey, this is going to taste great, dirty sock. But at the same time, it's full well that it's not going to look good on you if something's not selling either.
Absolutely. You have to be really careful with wines like that. So we at Co-op always encourage our staff, and this is a big difference in how people sell wine. We encourage our staff to try to figure out what the customer wants and get it for them.
Right.
Other stores or another style of service is to recommend what you like as a salesperson. Right. I don't understand that because we all have different tastes. We're all looking for something different. If I recommend you a wine that I like and it stinks or has a very unique flavor, you're probably not going to like it. Why would I want to do that to you? I want you to come back. I want to build a rapport with you and have you understand that I know what you're looking for in terms of flavor and price and quality. And so I'll really have to know that person wants that particular flavor if I'm going to recommend it. And as a salesperson, I'm going to ask some very specific questions to make sure, do you know what you're getting into?
Yeah.
This is very extreme. Most people don't like this. And if they're encouraging me that's exactly what I want, I'm like, great,
cool.
Here it is.
Right.
Otherwise, I would very rarely recommend that.
Give us the deal on this one, the name and the price again. I'm going to give it a quick guess, Wig.
Absolutely. So again, the Circus Malbec Rosé from Argentina, currently $10.99 at every Co-op location. This is the last day that price is in effect. It's about $4 off. So even normal price comes in under $15. Refreshing, fruity, crisp, and dry. So really delicious.
Absolutely. 110%. You nailed it. You've done your homework on this one, young lad. Well done. Eric Southward from Co-op Wine, Spirits, and Beer. Thanks for coming in on this Wine Wednesday.
And good luck this weekend.
Well, thank you. Let's head